Hey everybody, welcome back to Blu-Roy Movies. This morning we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to run through everything I own on Blu-ray in my Western collection. Now, Westerns wasn't really a genre of films I got into until adult life. I was born in the late 60s. I know you might find that a bit difficult to believe, but it's true, believe me. And growing up in the 70s, I was more about Jaws and Star Wars, Indiana Jones. That was early 80s, so I was sort of like 12 when that happened. James Bond, I loved my James Bond and stuff like that. And to be honest, the Western genre peaked by the time I was growing up. It was more in its heyday in the 50s and 60s, in my opinion. And there wasn't the interest and the revival in it that there is now, I don't believe. And also, it wasn't so easy to watch films in them days. You didn't have so many films on demand. You couldn't order a film off Amazon and cover the next day, or you couldn't stream whatever you wanted. It was like a completely different world. Sometimes a better one, but there you go. Even if you was lucky enough to have a VHS player, my father, he didn't get a VHS player till in the 80s, and I think he paid about £700 for it, which you could imagine, like in the early to mid 80s, I think it was a hell of a lot of money. And then when you went down the video store, you didn't see many westerns. It's all about the latest Arnie film or something like that. So yeah, as I say, it's as an adult, I've got into the genre and discovered some great films, and still am discovering great stuff because there's so many films in the genre. So without further ado, I'll go through with them, roll the credits, and we'll get into this. So I'm not going to spend a great deal of time on each title. We'll be here all day, but I'll run through them quickly with you. There's quite a few and some quite good stuff, and probably some quite bad stuff you might think. But let's get going. Um, Starting off with a bang. Maybe in a lot of people's eyes, the pinnacle of westerns, the Dollars trilogy. Been called so many names, this trilogy. The Dollars trilogy, Spaghetti Western trilogy, as you can see there. The Man with No Name trilogy. What would you call it? But this has got the classics. You all know Sergio Leone's Fistful of Dollars for a few dollars more. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. All great films, all great Clint. You've seen them. It's brilliant, brilliant films. Next up, another great one. Spencer Tracy, Robert Ryan. Bad Day at Black Rock, about the guy turning up at the town. Great film. One I haven't watched yet. McCabe and Mrs. Miller. Heard it's really good. Real favourite of mine, Destry Rides Again. Jimmy Stewart's my favourite actor, and I'd say Marlene Dietrich up there, my favourite actresses. She might even be my favourite. Really good, some good humour in this as well. Destry Rides Again. If you haven't watched that, give it a go, and a fantastic Criterion release. The original 3:10 to Yuma with Glenn Ford and Van Heflin, brilliant. I don't know why I've got that out. 12 Angry Men. I must have picked up the wrong one. I'll sort that out later. That is, as you know, not quite a Western. Great film nonetheless. More Sergio Leone, and again the brilliant Once Upon a Time in the West. That I'd love to upgrade to 4K. I know it's just come out as a collector's set, but what is it, 50, 60 quid? I'm not going to pay for that. I don't need the poster and the art cards and the ashtray and the bottle opener and whatever comes with it. So I'll wait for the standard release to come out and I'll grab that on 4K. Quickly rides again, isn't it? Tom Selleck, good action, good fun. Yeah, enjoyed that one. Would have not seen yet. Red Hill, I think I picked that up in a charity shop. Is it any good? Let us know. It's another cracker with Jimmy Stewart, John Wayne, Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. Brilliant ending in that. I really enjoyed that. Probably the most lowbrow one in the collection, A Million Ways to Die in the West. It's a good giggle. It's not going to change your world. Coen Brothers, No Country for Old Men. Absolute classic. What's his name? Anton Chigurh, the baddie. Stuart George has been doing a series of favourite baddies in films, but he's right up there. Creepy getting that. Recent pickup I've not seen yet. Seraphim Falls. Pierce Brosnan. Is it Liam Neeson, sorry. Let's get into that one. Open Range with James's favourite, Kevin Costner. The Hateful Eight, Tarantino, top form. A lot of people don't like this one, but I think it's right up there with Tarantino's best films. Great stuff. What's her name in it? The Jennifer Jason Leigh. She's just matured into a brilliant actress. Really lights up that film. What a character she is in that. Got the next stack. Unforgiven, Clint Eastwood, Morgan Freeman, wonderful film. Vera Cruz, Gary Cooper, Burt Lancaster, again, he's another one of my favourites. Burt Lancaster again with Kirk Douglas in Gunfight at the OK Corral, another wonderful film. Oh, this is it's probably stretching it a bit to call it a Western because it's a Korean take on it, the good, the bad and the weird, but this is a lot of fun. If you like your Korean films, give that a go because I think it's pretty underrated. You'll enjoy that. When I watched it recently, now this is a great film as well, Sweet Country. This is an Australian film with Sam Neill, I suppose, is the most famous actor in. It's all about how the American settlers treat the native Aborigines, and it's quite harrowing at times, and yeah, really good film. Maybe my favourite Western of all time. Maybe not, but mate, it's right up there. John Wayne, The Searchers. You're going about Leone, but I think John Ford is the ultimate Western director. I don't think you'll beat him. So classic after classic after classic. Searchers, fantastic movie. Russell Crowe, The Water Diviner. Need to watch that. It's a long time since I've seen it. Another one with Kevin Costner, Wyatt Earp. About 3 hours long, bit long. Not seen this one yet. I think Larry sent me this. Ray Winston in Tracker. More Clint, Shirley MacLaine. Another classic. Two Mules for Sister Sarah. Let's have a swig of me coffee, guys. Grab the next stack. Indicator release now. Randolph Scott. I haven't got round to this one yet. Buchanan Rides Again. But I have got round to this Randolph Scott one. I've watched that. The Tall T. Really good Western. Excellent spaghetti Western with one of the spaghetti Western kings, Lee Van Cleef in The Grand Jewel. The Oxbow Incident. I think that's quite heavily out of print now. Another great Western. Talking of John Ford, one of his more another one of his classics, My Darling Clementine with Henry Fonda. Again, look at that slip on that. Great result, great release that is. Another one I think is quite heavily out of print. More Jimmy Stewart, The Far Country, Anthony Mann, another director who's right up there when it comes to the world of westerns. Oh, well, I need to get around to this. I can't believe I haven't watched this yet, and I've heard so many good things about this. Run Man Run, little story about that. I was quite ill in hospital not too long ago. When I come home, my wife bought me that, and it's still sealed, so I should watch that. I have watched this one, another one for the Masters of Cinema collection. Kirk Douglas, Claire Trevor, Man Without a Star. Wonderful. Next step. Need to watch this one again. It's been a while. Johnny Guitar with Joan Crawford, and I think it's Sterling Hayden off the top of my head, but I remember really enjoying that. One of my favourites, and one of the ultimate westerns, Gary Cooper, the beautiful Grace Kelly, High Noon. Such tension in this. Makes you think, what would you do if he needed out? Would you go and tackle the guys, or would you hide in the pub? I'd probably hide in the pub, to be honest. Another wonderful Jimmy Stewart one, Broken Arrow. Good cowboy and Indian action. Another brilliant Jimmy Stewart, Shenandoah. That's one of my dad's favourites. There's this bit where they're shouting, burn the train, and they'd be shouting that when we were kids. I'll never forget that. Another one I've got to get around to, mainly because I'm not the biggest Robert Redford fan, Jeremiah Johnson. But I've heard good things. A modern day western, I really enjoyed this. Guy Pearce, the guy out of Game of Thrones, Brimstone, really enjoyed that. Brutal action in that. Yeah, blood curdling. Another one I watched recently that Larry sent me that I enjoyed, Old Henry. That's good stuff. Viggo Mortensen, Ed Harris, and Renée Zellweger, who I've got a lot of time for, Appaloosa. One that I found a bit slow, and I quite like slow films. It took me some while to get through this, but I must give it another go, perhaps. Hostiles. Rosamund Pike and Christian Bale. The Magnificent Seven, the remake. I haven't actually got the original Magnificent Seven on Blu-ray. I think I've got a DVD somewhere, so that's something I must rectify. But having said that, it's not a Western, but if you like the Magnificent Sevens and you haven't seen the source materials, Seven Samurai, grab a copy of that. That's magnificent cinema. Seven Samurai, right up there, probably in my top 10. The Homesman, Hilary Swank. I think I've seen that. Can't really remember. I have to give it another go. One I watched not too long ago, really enjoyed. Very long but very good. How the West Was Won. Now we're on the last stack now, guys. It's quite a big stack. This is a brilliant one. Le Grand Silenzo, or the Grand Silence, or is it the Great Silence? Sergio Corbucci, is it? Yep, Sergio Corbucci directed. Klaus Kinski, who's just one of the characters he is in this. Ever since I've been trawling through the Werner Herzog collection, I've got more and more into Klaus Kinski's stuff. What a wonderful actor that guy was. Two I haven't seen yet. These are two John Ford films, Hell Bent and Straight Shooting. I think these are two silent films from 1917 and 1918, something around there, but just goes to show how long a career Ford had, and he just kept banging out film after film after film, and most of them were just brilliant films. Next one, I'm ashamed to say I haven't watched this one. You lot are going to shout at me. A Fistful of Dynamite, and I've heard only that it's really good, so I've really got to watch that. What an idiot. What a plonker, Rodney. Next one, really good one, another John Ford. Rio Grande. Again, Ford was the king. Even in non-Western, some of his war films, and a film where, oh, title of it's gone right out of my head, where John Wayne goes back to live in Ireland. Brilliant film. Two Rode Together. Watched that again quite recently. That's another John Ford again. Jimmy Stewart. Absolutely wonderful. Anthony Mann. I'm a man from Laramie. What a James Stewart impression. One I've got to get round to. I've heard this is a good one. Day of the Outlaw. Another wonderful film. Shane, Alan Ladd, Van Heflin. The only thing I don't like is I find the kid's a bit annoying. It just keeps shouting, Shane, Shane, Shane. But still good stuff. Samuel Fuller, another wonderful director. 40 Guns. Another Anthony Mann film, which I've seen. Again, really, really good. Gary Cooper in Man of the West. Oh, this is a brilliant. I love this one. Howard Hawks, Red River. John Wayne and Montgomery Clift coming to blows as they're herding the biggest ever herd of cattle you'll ever see in your life across America. Wonderful, wonderful film. Me only 4K Western I've got in the collection, which again needs rectifying. Good grief. Rectifying. 310 to Yuma, the remake, which not as good as the original, but a decent remake. Yeah, good stuff. And Giant with is it that Elizabeth Taylor, Rock Hudson. Again, I haven't watched that one, but it's supposed to be really, really long, so I must get round to it. And this one's probably one of the most underrated westerns ever, in my opinion. The Culpeper Cattle Co. Again, it's another one about cattle drives, and really great western. I really enjoyed that. So that's all the westerns in my collection. Well, the ones that I've pulled out, I've probably missed one or two, because I was going back over them after I pulled them out and still finding more. But yeah, really good stuff. Really great ones, and I've still got some great ones to discover there. What have I got missing? Any glaring omissions? Please, guys, let me know down below. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, give me a thumbs up. And if you've liked what I've done today, maybe think about subscribing. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good rest of the day, and goodbye.